Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Sir Faizal and to all my friends. Today I'm going to show a demonstration on how to install DNS server and create a primary zone in Windows Server 2019. So now let us start the process of installation. As you can see, the first option that says add roles and features, click on it. And before you begin, read the information and the data for a better understanding and then click on the next. So for me, I will click on the first option, which is role-based or feature-based installation. This is an advanced option for installing RDS which allows you to manually select roles and feature. If you had like to add a single service such as remote desktop session host, this is the way to go. And now we move on to the next page. So for select destination server, from the server pool you have to choose your desired server for DNS server roles. So I will choose select a server from the server pool. It just set as a default. So for the name and with the static IP address, which is 192.168.79.132. So now we go to the next page. So for select server roles, select the Active Directory Domain Services role. You will encounter a pop-up window asking you to install some additional tools. If you wish to install the tools, check your requirement and according to the next step, click the Add Features button. Same goes to the DNS server. Click on it and a pop-up window asking you to install some additional tools for the DNS server. Click also Add Features button. Now we go to the next page. So for select features, show you some additional features for your DNS server. Read them carefully, add them if you are required. So I will set as a default for this page. For me, I don't need to select any features, and then I will click next button. So for the ADDS, read properly. After you are done, proceed with the next button. And the next window is an informational slide. Read it properly, and after you are done, click next. So that's it. The last window asking for your confirmation, and on the confirmation page, click install button. So now we need to wait until the installation progress. We are done. So now the installation progress will succeed. Now close the window. So it takes you back to the server manager. Now you have successfully installed the DNS server role in your system. So now on the task in server manager, click promote this server to a domain controller. It will open up the new wizard for the additional ADDS configuration. I will deploy new for us. So we need to specify the domain information for this operation. For domain name, in my case, it will be my name, aniq.com. After that, click on the next button. So select the domain and forest functional levels, which is Windows Server 2016. I set as a default, and I will specify the SRM password. Directory Services Restore Mode, the SRM, is a safe mode boot option for Windows Server domain controllers. This password provides the administrator with a backdoor to the database in case something goes wrong later on. but it does not provide access to the domain or to any services. And now we go to the next page. So for the DNS option, click on next. This message can be safely ignored. So for the additional option, I will change an IQ to a small letter and click next. So for path, leave the default setting and click on the next button. For review option, this page gives us option to review the configuration. As an added bonus, when clicking a view script button, you are provided with the PowerShell script to automate future installation. So for me, I set as a default and then click on the next button. So this is a prerequisite check. We need to wait for a few minutes for prerequisite check. Okay, so should all the prerequisites pass, click the install button to start the installation. So we need to wait for a while for the installation progress. So it will reboot server automatically once complete the installation. So click on the close button, so it will reboot. And now once the reboot are done, we'll go back into the Windows Server 2019. Okay, so now open the server manager and click tools and then hit the DNS option. Okay, so right click on the Windows name, click on the properties and go to the forwarders. Forwarders are DNS server to which the server sends queries when it itself can't answer them. To complete the configuration, click on the properties. Now click on edit button and add the desired address where you want to divert the request. So here enter the IP address 8.8.8 and hit the enter button. So why 8.8.8.8? It is because it is the primary DNS server for Google DNS. Google DNS is a public DNS services that is provided by Google with the aim to make the internet and DNS system faster, safer, secure and more reliable for all internet users. So we enter 8.8.8.8 for the IP address to check the connection. So the IP address for 8.8.8.8, which is the DNS, Google DNS was supplied. So hit the OK button, then apply, and then click on the OK button. So in the details pane in name, the Windows name. So double click on forward lookup zone and click on aniq.com, and now right click at the empty space, and as you can see there is a new host which is A or AAAA, and click on it. So this is if you want to create a new host. So for me, I will create a new host, which is a name. I will insert my PC. So for fully qualified domain name, it will automatically. So for IP address, we need to take the IP address of Windows 10 client. And now open Windows 10 client. Now open a command prompt. So click insert IP config to see the IPv4 address for this Windows 10. So it is 192.168.79 and 134. So copy it and go to Windows Server 2019 and enter the IP address of Windows client, which is 192.168.79.134. So in IP address, you can enter the address in IPv4 format to add a host resources code. So now click on add host button, and the host record of mypc.aniq.com was successfully created. Now click OK and click on done button. Okay, so now right click on the empty space, and as you can see, there is a alias name which is CNAME, where you want to add the alias resources record, and then click on the new alias. The new resources record dialog box will open. So for alias name, I will type the alias name, which is Win10, and fully qualified domain name, it will automatically insert. So for fully qualified domain name for target host, I will insert in my case my pc.aniq.com. so it's same, name same with the new host that we are created before, and then click OK button. So this is the host and the alias name that we are create before this. Now we go to Windows 10 client. So now we want to configure client DNS server address point to the DNS server IP address. So for check it, open the control panel. Okay, so now click on network and internet, network and sharing center. So click on Ethernet 0, and now go to the properties. So click on the properties. So we change to use the following DNS server address, which is we insert the preferred DNS server with the IPv4 IP address of Windows Server 2019. So now go to command prompt and click ipconfig, type ipconfig to check the IP address. So take this IP address and fill in the preferred DNS server, which is 192.168.79.132, and then click OK. And after that, close all the window except the command prompt. Now type ns lookup. So for this command, ns lookup is the name of program that lets an internet server administrator or any computer user enter a host name and find out the corresponding IP address or domain name system DNS record. So after that, provide the domain name and boot lookup for a record and cname record, which is for my domain name I will type aniq.com. so this will appear, which is my name, my domain name aniq.com, and my IP address 192.168.79.132, which is Windows Server IP address. And now we provide a new host record, which is a record that we create before this, which is mypc.aniq.com, and hit the enter button. So this will appear, server unknown, address 192.168.79.132. so this is the client IP address that we have set before this on the new host. And now for alias name that we create before this, cname record win10.aniq.com, hit the enter button, and this will appear unknown. The address, the IP address is 192.168.79 and 132, and the name, which is mypc.aniq.com, address, the client IPv4 address 192.168.79 and 134, and the aliases win10.aniq.com. So for the domain name and new host and alias name that we are created before this, the result was successful. So that's all from me. Thank you.